right, folks, good afternoon once again, and thank you so much for joining the program. This is the Marketplace and Jumpstart Reset Show. I'm Anthony Weeks, and I'm joined by my colleague, Terry Coaxum. And this is the third. Hi, Terry, how are you? This is
Hi.
the third. This is the third segment, and we have some special folks with us and special guests who are going to join us from the Small Business Administration. They're going to be two representatives that's going to join us on the program. One will be a specialist in the area of PPP, better known as the Paycheck Protection Program, and then the other specialist is going to be someone who economic injury disaster recovery loan. My colleague Terry, I want to thank you so much for a great job as always for making to arrange these important experts providing the invaluable insight and information, so we are able to inform our viewers on the do's and don'ts and what the parameters are in terms of how they can go about and pursue the opportunity, submit the application, and hopefully get qualified for these important resources. So Terry, how you been?
I'm good. I'm doing really, really well. It's beautiful outside. And so enjoying the weather. I know you're down in the Virgin Islands, so you have sun and fun all the time. So it's really great. But I want to, I'm really excited about the show today. I'm really excited that my former colleagues, Robin Daniels and Elizabeth Abreu, will be joining us. And, hopefully we will have a very robust, yay, Liz made it! We'll have a robust.
You know the changes I went through. Thank you for telling me.
Oh, God.
Okay, I'm in.
I love it. So we're going to have a robust conversation around the services and offerings that SBA has, and answer some of your questions about PPP and upcoming programs that SBA will have. And so I'm very happy to have Robin and Liz join us today, Anthony.
Absolutely. So as we've always said, Terry has served under the Obama administration in the small business advocate role and did a brilliant job. That's how we met, actually.
In the Virgin Islands.
Yeah, in the Virgin Islands, when she was working hard to, really do the business of SBA. And, Terry plays a very important role from a public policy standpoint. She's worked from the municipal level to the federal level. And a lot of the relationships that she have garnered and fostered throughout the years are these relationships. You'll hear from today, like she said, these are some of her former colleagues from the SBA on the program. And folks have, rightfully so, a lot of questions regarding, the PPP program, and also what's the difference between PPP and the EIDL loan. There is a difference. Right. And so you're going to hear with all the banks and the lending institutions that are participating, yes, they're the front line, right? They're the front line on the PPP front line. And so if you want the funding on the PPP, you're going to have to go through a lender to do that. Mm-hmm. If I'm not mistaken, on the EIDL, you deal directly with the SBA. Is that correct, Terry?
Yes. And you Fantastic. See Liz and Robin are shaking their heads. Yes.
Fantastic. So I'm going to be quiet.
Okay.
And learn and listen to the expert and learn something today from you guys. Okay. So awesome. I really appreciate Robin, Daniels, and Elizabeth. How do I pronounce your last name, Elizabeth? Is it
Abreu?
Abreu. Okay. Oh, there you go.
Abreu. No one knows R. Abreu. So we're going to start.
Yeah. Thank you so much, ladies, for being on the program. I'm looking forward to learning as much as I can from you guys. Thank you so much.
Awesome sauce. So we're going to start with Liz, and then Liz is going to put you to Robin. And then any questions we had, we're going to be live, Facebook Live. And so any questions that the audience have will pop up on our screens and we'll be able to see them. And so I'm looking forward to this conversation. We're going to start with you, Liz, the business specialist, and then we'll pitch it to Robin. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you, Terry. Thank you for inviting us. Okay, so I'm just going to give general information on SBA. SBA, Small Business Administration, is a federal agency. And what I like to do, I like to break it down with 3 C's. Well, the first thing with the first C is counseling. So we have resource partners, and I'm going to mention all 4 of them. We have the Small Business Development Center, which is the SBDC. We have the Women Business Center, which is WBC, and we have SCORE, which is SCORE, and we also have the Veteran Business Outreach Center, which is VBOC, okay? So these 4 organizations we fund, and I think they do our job better because they're the ones that give you that one-on-one counseling for free. So when you're starting a business, you have a lot of questions and you don't know where to start or what to do. The first thing you need to do is actually have a one-on-one counseling, again, with the 4 resource partners that I spoke about, WBC, the SPDC, SCORE, and the Veteran Business Outreach Center. You can find them in our website, which is www.sba.gov / for NY New York. But all the resource partners not only visit SCORE, the WBC, and the SPDC. Especially if you're a veteran, you should reach out to the Veteran Business Outreach Center, okay? So they're going to help you with business plan. Because when you start your business, you're going to need a plan, okay? You just don't open a business without a plan. You know, a business plan is a living document. It's always going to change, okay? And you're always going to need it, and it's going to keep you focused, you know? And sometimes you might think you need about 15, 20, 30. It's not a, but it always changes. So you need to have that relationship with one of the resource partners, whether it's the WBC, the SPDC, the Veteran Business Outreach Center, or SCORE. And what I love about it, a lot of services are free, and I love free. Not everybody loves free. Like one-on-one counseling, free. Okay, I'm going to keep saying free because I love free. And it actually, when April 15th comes, you pay your taxes. These are one of the services that you get. But keep in mind, folks, you're starting your business. You have no clue. You need some help. Well, these are the resource partners that you can reach out and they'll help you, not only with a business plan, they'll help you with a marketing plan. So once you open a business, what do? You need a market. We don't have money to market. So you need to come up with a plan. Word of mouth. We do a lot of workshop with them regarding how do you market your business now that you're open. So it's really important to think about this thing before you start. Or even if you're an existing business, you need to always how to market. Look, when COVID-19 happened, a lot of people had to do stuff online, okay? Because nobody was visiting stores. So these are things that you need to have a plan for. And the resource partners can help you. If it's also with financial projection, you know, you don't know how much exactly you're going to spend. You need to sit with someone to talk about your financial projection. The Small Business Development Center, they do a great job on financial projection. Not only that, what I like what the Small Business Development Center also do, you need to find out what type of entity that you're going to do. You're going to do a sole proprietorship, a C corporation, or S corporation. These are all these questions that you have no clue and don't know how to get these forms. Well, the resource partners will help you. So that was my first fee. It's really important to make sure you speak to one of our resource partners and get that one-on-one counseling for free. Now, the second C, number 2, is capital. And I know Bob is going to talk about the PPP, the idle loan and everything, but we're going to go back to normal again. We got to go back to normal. And the Small Business Administration, we're not in the banking business. We guarantee loans. So I want to mention 2 of our favorite loan program, which is first one is the 7A. Okay, it goes up to $5 million. I know we don't need that much, but right now, on the 7A, the SBA is guaranteeing 90%. So the bank is taking 10% risk. Okay, so when everything goes back to normal, because we want to do 7A loans, we want to work with the banks because that's what we work with the banks. It's to commercial lenders, and we work with all these banks. I'm not allowed to mention, but we have the top 10 lenders on the SBA website. Again, you need to find out who's doing lending with SBA. www.sba.gov /NY. We have the top 10 lenders that will do 7A loan. It's a 7A loan for working capital, machine and equipment, supplies, furniture, fix. I mean, go on. And again, the resource partners, they can help you put the loan package together. Because I'm not going to lie, folks, this is the federal government, and Terry knows we love paper, okay? The application is a lot of information. It's the federal government. If they want to know your business, so they're going to request a lot of documentation. So you can sit with one of our resource partners and help you do the loan packaging. My second, and I love this one, is the 504. I don't know why we don't do so much on the 504. The 504 loan program is to buy commercial space. Again, commercial space. And all the borrower needs to do is put 10% down. Now, buying a commercial space and only putting 10% down, I think that's a deal. There are requirements, but let me show you how it works first. The 504, the lender comes in and takes 50% of the project cost. The certified development company with SBA puts the 40%. 50 and 40 is 90%. All the borrower needs to do is put 10% down to buy that commercial space. Isn't that a great deal? 10%. Yeah. Yes, there is requirement. The first requirement is the business must occupy 51%. And what I mean by 51%, let's say, we're buying a building, we have a basement, so that could be storage. Then we got the storefront. And then we go upstairs and take an office space, showing that we're showing 51% that the business is going to occupy. And this is where we're going to pay that payment once we get the loan. Now, the 49%, SBA doesn't care what you're doing. One thing, a lot of people feel, well, let me rent it and pay that loan. No, you can't do that. I'm going to tell you right now, that 49% is whatever you wanted to decide, but the federal government doesn't want to know. I'm sure it's legal stuff, but you can't use that to pay off the loan. You got to show that 51% is going to occupy is paying the loan. So the storefront needs to make sure that money is going to pay the loan. Now, the second requirement, in order to put that 10% down, you have to be in business for 2 years. That's a must. Those are the two major requirements on the 504. I think it's a great loan program, especially nowadays. Renting, leasing is so expensive. If you want to know more information, again, I'm going to repeat, the SBA website has tons of information on the 504, the 7A, because these are our loan programs. This is what Small Business Administration, this is what we do. Wow. But right now with this COVID-19, yes, we are doing idle loans. And Bobby, I don't want to take it off from I don't want to start talking about the idle loan, but she's going to explain the difference between the idle loan and the PP loan, and also the shuttle venue operating. So there's a lot of stuff out there because of COVID-19. But I want folks to remember, the Small Business Administration is here with this regular 7A, the 5 loan, they even have an express loan. Now, my third C is contracting. Okay, the federal government buys a whole bunch of service and product. We need to get certified. Once we're in business for 2 years, you got to get certified, not only with the federal, with the state and the city. Try out these contracts, okay? Also, again, in the website, it tells you we have set aside programs like the 8-8 and Hub Zone. And again, I don't want to take too much of the time, but I just want everybody to understand basically the Small Business Administration, the 3 C's, which is counseling, capital, and contract. And now I'm going to turn it over because everybody's so excited. I know Rob is going to do an excellent job on the idle loan, on the PP loan, and all the rest of grant loans that we have. Robin, are you there? So let me bring him on because I know I have a PowerPoint. Ooh.
Yeah, before you do, yeah, Elizabeth, thank you so much for that. I think you have a lot of information. I mean, you said a lot. And so for me, when something you said for me that was very key, right? A lot of times the apprehension of a financial institution, even though the SBA is not the lender, you're the guarantor. Mm-hmm. You're guaranteed 90% of the loan, and 10% is the risk will be taken by the financial institution.
Exactly.
What are you finding? Is the 10% the real issue, why banks, even though you're guaranteeing 90% of the loan, are reluctant to provide the SBA loan?
No, I think banks love it because they're taking only the 10% risk. So they're getting the federal government's backing up that loan. So let's say that loan goes it goes default. The Small Business Administration has to pay that lender or that bank 90% back. So whatever the balance is, the federal government, Uncle Sam, is going to pay the lender. So it actually just got to go back just to get the 10%. So I feel that lenders nowadays want to do more SBA because if it goes default, the federal government is going to pay them back. They just got to worry about that 10% risk. Am I answering your question?
Yeah, you are.
But I want to add to that. Can I add to that, Anthony?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to add to that only from my experience, right? So that was excellent. Especially now, lenders are willing to do the SBA loans because of the loan guarantee, and so we are, happy to have that available to them. In my experience, when I was the regional advocate for SBA, there was two other dynamics going on, and that's probably what Anthony's trying to allude to, because what we were having in the Virgin Islands, we weren't having a lot of banks. First of all, we only had bank branches in the Virgin Islands. The actual banks were in Puerto Rico. And so the bank branches that were in the Virgin Islands weren't lending as quickly as we needed them to the small businesses, even with the SBA guarantee. And so I think Anthony's probably alluding closer to that. And then what the problem was, because we had these roundtables and these think tanks talking to small businesses and talking to the banks about why loans weren't being made as quickly as we needed them to. And the banks said that the small businesses weren't applying for the loans, and small businesses said the banks weren't giving them the loans. And so how we were able to get through a lot of it is we were able to find mainland bank institutions with SBA guarantees that was willing to lend to the Virgin Islands, and that kind of opened up the market again. So yeah, we want to thank SBA for offering that. And Anthony, did you want to add any more to that?
Yeah, and just the other one to piggyback on, I'd like to hear from the SBA. What are some of the common problems or challenges?
Barriers?
Yeah, barriers, because a lot of American consumers or business people are really struggling to really. There's a lot of hand holding, and so where is the problem? The banking side? Is it the program, the process? Where is this bottleneck taking place in terms of a lot of the challenges American businesses are having, small businesses are having, going through the PPP or the EIDL loan process?
You know what? Because I think the problem is because this is nationwide, and we have small centers that is, it takes them a while to get all these applications coming in, and then you're missing something, you got to start all over. So I think it's just getting the process, it's nationwide. This is something that never, it's like everywhere it's happening. So now we're submitting applications to the disaster office, and I mean, they got tons and tons, reviewing them and then looking at them. And all the time, we don't submit everything what we're supposed to submit. And you got to go back and forth. I think it's the processing. I don't know, Robin, you want to ask? I think it's the processing. I think once you have everything submitted, it goes smoother. And, and again, this is nationwide, so you got to give the disaster office time to get all this paperwork, review it, get it approved for the first time, and then to get a supervisor, and then stamp it and make sure the money goes direct to your deposit, so it's just processing.
And I want to pause right there, and then Robin, you can jump in. Anthony, we talked about this on the marketplace too. We talk about this on the side of the small businesses, in the sense that making sure that you had your paperwork in order, because one of the requirements is making sure you have your taxes, right? So we had to make sure that our small businesses did their taxes. They had their taxes available. The other requirement was making sure that your business was an organized business, and you had your EIN number, and you had if you had all of these things that you needed to make sure that you were a business. And then you had to prove your payroll, right? So if you're asking for a certain amount of money, then it was based on first your net and now your gross income. And so having that paperwork in order also slowed down the process for some of our small business. And that's been the experience for me as a small business owner. working with the SBA, working with my banking institution, that seemed to be a problem with getting their loans processed as well. So we know that the SBA is making sure they're crossing all the T's and dotting all the I's with the idle loan process, because it was a nationwide, like Liz said, it was a nationwide effort, right? But then also when our businesses are coming to the table for these loans, they have to make sure that they have their paperwork in order so that the process will go a lot smoother. Did you want to?
And Terry, I'm sorry. I'm going to ask. It just came across. I've been working with two different businesses. They're sole proprietorship, but they never had a business account. And this is the federal government. Yeah. They're not going to put money into a personal account. It has to be business. So that's now they got to set this up. Mm-hmm. I mean, the guy told me, but I've been sole proprietorship over 10 years. This is what I do. I put my money in my. You can't with the federal government. You can't do that. You know, right. So these are things that we're running in. I'm sorry, Robert. It just came up right now.
No. You two have hit everything and all the problems that we are having in regards to the PPP loans, as well as the IDLES and any type of SBA. That's why we have the small business development centers to help you get the paperwork that is needed together before you actually take it to the bank. That is why they are there for you to use, and they are free, as Liz had said before. So in order to have all of those documentations, if you need help, ask for it. That's what we're here for.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, there's something that I think we agree on collectively, right? But I think Elizabeth touched on it, right?
Yeah.
Never at any one point, even though the SBA is a federal national program, never at one point where you had a collision of everything just kind of conversion at the same time, right? And so you have this Herculean effort to try to help. What is it? They said, I think prior to the pandemic, there were like 30 million small businesses in the country. Mm-hmm. That's an astonishing amount of people. Yes. That's more than the population of some countries.
Yeah, right. That's right.
So the extent of it is just mind-boggling, to be honest with you. So I really appreciate that. And so and people really need to understand that the SBA is not the lender. Mm-hmm. SBA supports the lenders.
That's right.
Okay? No matter how many times you say that, it just seems to get lost in the messaging somewhere.
But
go ahead.
I was gonna laugh because when I was on board, Robin and Liz can appreciate this. We used to say there is no grant. If they tell you there's a grant, there is no grant, right? And then COVID happened.
Exactly.
So we would say there's a loan process and somebody telling you there's a grant, there's no grant. But now there is actually a grant, right? And so Robin can tell us more about the grant process where, the SBA is giving it to small businesses, and also nonprofit organizations are also eligible for it this time as well. So I'm really hopeful that I'm really thankful that Robin is here and she's going to go through the process, the first draw, the second draw, PPP versus idle loan, and give us a lot more substance as a result of that. So whoever is listening to our broadcast today, they'll be able to take that information and successfully, as Elizabeth said, successfully apply for their PPP loans. And then and if they need help, the small business development centers that Liz talked about, the women's business development centers that Liz talked about. She also talked about Veteran Center. And what was the fourth one, Liz?
SCORE. Let's not forget SCORE, Terry.
SCORE, right? And SCORE. So those are all places that you can go and get that information and get that help you need. And so, Robin, we're tagging you in to explain to us more about the PPP and about the idle loan. And so I believe you have a PowerPoint presentation that you're going to share with us as well.
Yes, I do. You got it up, or?
Yeah, hold on. Let me just cue it up. Okay. Just you guys can continue talking. You'll see me cue it up. Just keep talking.
So what I will do is, like Terry said, my name is Robin Daniels, and I am a lender relations specialist with the Small Business Administration out of the New York District Office. And today we will be talking about the 2021 COVID-19 Economic Aid Overview. Now, this is just a note. Because things change daily, any rule that comes after today of what I'm saying gets higher preference.
That's right.
Okay, because things change on a daily basis. So with that note, we're on the second slide. Who has it?
It should be up, right? It's up. Can you see it?
Yes, advance. Next one. There you go. So, let me advance mine. So on our agenda for today, we will be talking about where we are, the SBA's COVID-19 economic aid funding options, loan program details with the PPP as well as the EIDL, grant details, meaning the targeted advance as well as the SVOG, as well as additional assistance resources. Next slide. Where we are. Congress intended this round of COVID-19 economic aid funding to support the hardest hit small businesses as those in underserved segments, including women, minority, and veterans. The SBA is committed to ensuring the programs are launched as quickly as possible to deliver critical economic aid to America's small business and other eligible entities. Next. So the SBA economic aid programs. First, we have our Paycheck Protection Program. It is a forgivable loan through a participating PPP lender to cover employees' payrolls. Minimum is 60% of the loan, and the other 40 covers eligible expenses that has been expanded and now includes the following, which is payroll costs, rent, mortgage interest. We have utilities, operation expenditures, property damage costs, and supplier costs, and workers' protection expenditures, meaning PPP. Now, we also have our debt relief program on our 7As, 504s, and microloans. What this is that the federal government, SBA, will be giving a 2 to 3 month deferment on payment to those loans that are in regular servicing only. So if you're behind in any shape or form or fashion with a 7A loan, we're asking that you either bring it up to par so that you can get the deferment, or if you cannot, you will not be eligible for this program. Next is our EIDL loan, which is the Economic Injury Disaster Loan. Now, you know the federal government has acronyms. Everything is an ABC.
Yeah.
So EIDL is an EIDL loan. Now, this is an actual loan from the Small Business Administration designed to provide working capital, economic relief to businesses currently experiencing temporary loss of revenue due to the coronavirus. Now, this is an actual loan. Now, our grant programs are the targeted EIDL advance. Now, this provides businesses in a low-income communities with additional funds to actually ensure their business. Continuity, as they say, to stay open and don't close down. Adaptation that are available to modify their business to the new norm, and resilience, meaning get back on their feet with the quickness. But with this program, there is nothing that you actually need to do. Everything is being handled by the SBA in regards to it. So that's a good part. Now, the next one we have is the Shutters Venue Operators Grant, which is the SVOG. Now, this grant is for live venue operators or promoters, theatrical producers, live performing artists, organizations, museum operation, motion pictures, anything that deals with entertainment. Now, also, there is a new one that's also coming out, which is the Restaurant Revitalization Fund. You will have to actually go to our website to find out information about that. I haven't updated our PowerPoint, so there's no information regarding that is here. So with that, the next slide, please. Okay, so the Paycheck Protection top takeaways. Now, it expands to PPP eligible on how funds can be used. A borrower can select a cover period between 8 to 12 to 24 weeks. I'm sorry. Before you were not able to actually select the time frame that you would like, but now you can. It offers a second draw PPP loan options for the hardest hit. It allows for deduction of expenses covered with the forgiven PPP loans on debt finance federal taxes. Updates simplified forms that goes up to 150,000. And as you can see, 86% of the loans submitted have been also forgiven. Now, also when it comes down to it, it's a 60-40 ratio that you have to spend 60% on payroll, and you can use the remaining 40% on the remaining expenses in order to be eligible for the 100% forgiveness. And also, they're no longer subtracting the idle advances from our PPP loan amounts. Next slide. Okay, so what is the first draw loan? Is to be considered as the first draw, you did not receive a PPP prior to August 9th when they closed it down the first time. PPP loan eligibility now includes additional types of entities. Now, covered eligibility expenses are expanded. Before, like I stated, there was payroll costs, mortgage, as well as utilities. But now, like I stated, there's operating expenditures, there's certain property damage from when they was doing the looting that you can actually put down, supplier costs, as well as PPPE, meaning the workers' protections. If you have to build an outside awning, you can actually put that, use the PPP for that. Any type of PPP things that you'll be using. Now, certain borrowers may request a increase to their PPP loans, and you must have been in business by February 2020. Now, with that also, you must have applied, as you can see, before March 31st. But as you have known or know now, the Biden administration has now extended that PPP to May 31st, so there is time to apply. Next slide. Okay, so generally, it's for entities with 500 employees or fewer, as you can see. Before it was for employees of 300 or let me reverse that. When it first came out, it's for employees of 500 or less. But now on the when you come down to the second draw, also it is 300 or less. Newly eligible, like housing corporations, designated marketing organizations, that would be a travel agency. Certain 501c6 organizations have now also been included. It's still eligible for sole proprietors, business entities, like I said, the 501c3s for nonprofits, tribal businesses, so on and so forth. Now, in regards to the 501c6 organizations, as I stated, that's new. This excludes, unfortunately, professional sports leagues or organizations with the purpose of promoting or participating in any political campaign. So with that, next. Okay. What is a second draw PPP loan? For borrowers, like I stated before, that did receive a PPP loan prior, have now gotten down to 300 employees or less, and you must have suffered a 25% reduction in gross receipts. Now, for some borrowers, if you're not self-employed, may also use the 12-month prior to the date of applications to actually calculate the average payroll cost. As it says up on the screen, it says most borrowers, the maximum loan amount is 2.5 average monthly for 2019 or 21 or 2020 payroll costs up to $2 million. Now, people that are actually in the food service with the NAICS code of 72, their average monthly is 3.5 average for 2019, 2020, up to $2 million. Now, with the second draw loan, applicants must submit the information on the SBA form 2483-SD when you're actually applying for the second draw, hence the SD loan. Okay. Next slide. Second draw eligibility. Okay, right. So you must have previously, like I stated, you must have previously received the first draw loan, and the cover periods cannot overlap. Okay. You also have to or will use the first draw loan amount amount for any eligible expenses before the second loan can be disbursed. Have no more than 300 employees, and you have to show that you have a 25 reduction in your gross receipts. So, for example, if you have a 10,000 on your 2020, you have to have the same quarter, and you have to compare it from there to there. So if you use a 2019 January, February, March quarter, you have to use the same January, February, March quarter of 2019 and 2020. You cannot use December's quote for something that happens in May for next year. No, it has to be compatible. So the next slide. So the application process. The PPP loans must be through a participating paycheck lender. So with that, we have set up something that is called the lender match that is there to help you match you up with one of our lenders. You can go to the website, you plug in your information, and you should be able to receive a response within 24 to 48 hours from a lender that will actually be able to help you. Okay. And we have our resource partners that you can go to. You can tell them that I need help finding a lender. They will actually help you, walk you through, help you fill out the application so that you can send to the lenders. And that is what they're there for. And it's free. Now, once you get the application, including all documentations, and again, get help from our resources to put your documentation and everything together. Now, with that, from that, once SBA receives it, SBA will issue you a hold on, my mind is slipping me.
SBA number? Is it a registration number?
Yes, no, it's not a registration number. SBA will issue you a loan number.
A loan number, yeah.
A loan number, so that you can go to once the bank has all of your information, SBA then issues you a loan number. The bank then disperses the money to you, and then you can go on and do what you need to do. Now, just so that you know, because there was so much fraud and misuse during the first PPP, they actually put all rules and regulations back into place. So there is a time lapse there, because now you have to verify and re-verify to state that you are who you say that you are. So just be mindful, if you are applying for that second PPP, that there will be a time lapse in between. So it's not like a 1, 2, 3 like the first one was. This one might be a little bit slower. So make sure that you have this in your mind as, remembrance. Next slide. So the PPP loans and terms and maturity. Now, not all of the PPP loan will be 100% forgiven. That's when it turns into an actual loan. So the fixed interest rate is 1% of that of the loan that's not forgiven. You will not need any form of collateral or personal guarantees. There are no prepaid penalties, and it's a 5-year maturity on the second PPP. So on the first PPP, there was if you received your PPP before, I think it was June 2020, that there was only a 2-year maturity that was on it. Now they have actually extended it to a 5-year maturity. So if you received your first PPP before that time lapse, you can actually negotiate with the lender to see if you can have it extended to the 5 years. Now, also, the payments will start once the borrower knows how much the PPP will be. The lender will actually notify you. You will get those monthly statements to let you know when your due date, how much it is, so on and so forth. And also, if you do not do your own forgiveness, SBA will remind you, and then you have to actually start sending in your payments. So with that in mind, make sure that you know that 10 months after you get your first PPP, that you should think about doing your forgiveness for that part before you start applying for the second PPP. Okay, now the next slide. So PPP forgiveness. Now, like I stated before, the borrower must apply for PPP loan forgiveness through their lender, and the lender is the one that sends it to us. Now, the updates per the Economic Act, idle advances are no longer deducted. Expenses paid with your PPP funds are tax deductible. Consult the IRS. Please consult the IRS in regards to tax deductibles. They are the experts. Unfortunately, I'm going to say SBA does not know about taxes. So you must go to them and ask them. And you can also go to our resource partners, because they might be able to help you in regards to doing your taxes so that you can get the full deductible. Expanded forgivable expenses, like I said, are permissible on any unforgivable loan. And simplified forgiveness applications are actually on our website. They are I think it's the EZ. They have 2 of them. It's the 3508 EZ. That is new, but you can check out our website just to make sure. And also, per the CARE Act, forgivable PPP loans are not federal taxable income. Okay. Now, in regard to the forgiveness process, the lender has up to 60 days to actually review the PPP application. Then they send it to us. We have 90 days. So this is not a 1-month process. This is not a 2-month. As you can see, it will take some time. But if you are diligent in regards to having your documentations correct, just make sure that you put in for it and trust and believe before you can get a second PPP, or before anything happens. It's just going to take a while. And forgiveness, just know that it's in the process once you do submit it. Next. So the COVID economic injury disaster loan, which is the EIDL loan, it provides economic aid to businesses due to a temporary loss of, like I said, revenue for COVID. Now, the use of these processes is working capital, normal operating expenses such as continual of health care benefits, rent, utilities, fixed debt payments. The term for this one is 3.75 for businesses, and it's fixed. It's 2.75 for nonprofits, fixed, with a 30-year no prepayment penalty, and loans that are over 25% are secured by UCC filing. And that will actually, $100 is actually going to be deducted from your total amount to cover for it. So eligibility in regards qualified small business, cooperative, and agricultural enterprises with 500 or fewer employees, or defined as small as per our SBA NAICS code, and private nonprofits. Okay, they are eligible for this. Okay. Next slide, please.
Okay, so, Robin, we're gonna have to start wrapping up soon because
not a problem. Not a problem. Our targeted advance. If you receive $10,000, that is part of the grant. That actually does not have to be paid back. The balances is not deductible from the PPP. And like I stated, for the targeted advance, SBA will contact you. You do not need to contact us. Next slide. Okay, in order to be eligible, you got to submit your tax documents. You have to have applied for an EIDL loan, and like I said, that you can actually use your loan, because it is a loan, to fix your business. It is the SBA will, like I stated, will contact you, and you don't have to contact us. Next. This is just the application process. If you can see it, you can see everything. Application questions, you can go to targetadvance.sba. There is a 21 days once you do get your the invitation. You have 21 days to forget it. If you approve, you'll receive it in your bank account. Good luck. Next, this is our shutter venue operations grant. As you can see, this has not been open. It actually opens up tomorrow. You can check our website, www.sba.gov/SVOG, in order to get full information. SBA is not really able to talk about it. So on that note, next slide. Here is just a comparison of what you can actually use for PPP, who can get PPP, who can't get PPP, general overview. I'm pretty sure they're going to send this out. So this goes on that one. Next one, key take, go down one more. Oh, okay, so right there, key takeaways is our PPP paycheck protection, our debt relief on 504s. We have our targeted as well as our regular EIDL advance and our EIDL loans and the shutter venues. You can see all of this information on our website, www.gov/SVOG/EIDL/disaster/78, and that will give you all of our information. And I think this is just our resources. And with that, you can follow us on Twitter, email us, call us, any way you can reach us, just reach out and we're here. And on that note, Terry, I'm done.
Awesome job. Awesome job. That was a ton of information. I'm sure those that were listening will be able to access the deck and go into.
Yeah, is it possible for us to share this deck on our website, SBA?
Yes.
Okay.
So we'll upload it because it's a ton of information, great information.
That it is.
But we will upload it to our website so you're able to click on the document and at your convenience, at your leisure, review the information on the PowerPoint document.
Absolutely. And so on that note, we want to thank you ladies so much for being a part of this conversation. Anthony, you had any questions? Because I know you taking notes. I see you taking notes.
Well, I'm like, it's on the shutter. The shutter, like you said, just is out today, and there's a lot of you're still fine tuning, I guess, the process.
They're still tweaking.
They're tweaking it, right? So all of you entertainment venue, we know you're anxious. And so the information is it's a work in progress, and so just be a little patient. But for now, you'll be able to go to our website to be able to review the document and get all the necessary information. And we'll also put a link that will take you from our website to SBA as well.
That's right.
So don't worry about it. We'll make sure you have the benefit of those documents as well.
And Robin and Liz, I want you to thank you for sharing the restaurant. I didn't know that there was a restaurant one coming out, and so that's really important.
Yes.
Yeah. Anthony knows we've been talking to restaurants throughout our broadcast, and they're really hurting, and so this will be an opportunity for them.
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
Right. We want to do a very specific piece to, obviously, now that you're coming out with the shuttered venue program, and then of course for the restaurant, we want to do a very targeted approach to the restaurants and the venues as well, because they're in a different category by themselves, and they're different funding available for them. So we want to be able to kind of focus on them separately. All right, Terry. So that's it. That's great. Thank you so much, Robin and Elizabeth, for taking the time from the SBA. You guys are from the New York office, correct? I want to make sure I got that right. I'm not,
Yes.
And thank you for. I hope it's not too cold where you are. It's nice and warm here, and
Nice
so
today.
I said,
He's rubbing it in because he's from Virgin Islands.
but just so you know, the program is televised. It's seen throughout the United States, throughout the entire Caribbean, and in South America, Guyana, and Suriname. And so if you missed the live broadcast, you'll be able to watch the rebroadcast on our website, but certainly on our television platform, on Verizon, Fios, and Time Warner Cable, up and down the Eastern Corridor. We have a lot of viewers who have a lot of questions, so please take advantage of this. All right, ladies, thank you so much, and look forward to, if possible, having you back on the program as things kind of unfold.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you, ladies. I love you.
Thank you, Terry. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good day. Enjoy the rest of
You
your day.
too.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
So, Terry,
Yeah, a
that's
lot of
great.
information.
A lot of information. And so I guess people should not, I guess it's natural for people to feel overwhelmed because it is a lot, right? But it's like, what did they say? I mean, I don't mean to gross people out if you're not a meat eater. I don't mean any offense, but it's how do you eat an elephant or a whale? One bite at a time, right?
Right.
Yeah. How do you climb Mount Everest? One step at a time. Don't look at the size of what's in front of you. Just say, okay, I am going to step out in faith, and I'm going to put one foot in front of the other and take it one step at a time.
And so I think one of the main things I want the audience that are tuning in today to really pay attention to is what you need, the documents that you need to make this a successful loan process. So make sure that you are an organized business and you have your EIN. Make sure you have a bank account for your business. I think that was really
that's the biggest. That's the biggest.
That one was huge. You got to have your business bank account. You got to have your EIN. You got to have your tax.
Especially those cash carry business.
Yeah,
it's going to be hard for them to really quantify the income, because if they're cash, obviously while it's good that you were able to have a cash business, now that you're in this situation and you're in a predicament, you now have to prove and source your income, and so you're going to have to provide that.
And so one of the things that I'll encourage the listeners, because we're all about the nuggets, right? We're all about giving you the tools and the tips to be able to do your business better. I'll encourage you to use a payroll company to do that. And then that will make your process a lot easier. And then you can get a W-2 from that at the end of it. You'll be able to pay all the taxes that you need to pay for your employers that are working in that cash business, as well as pay yourself, right? And so at the end of this process, when the SBA needs you to pull up the documents, it'll be a much easier process for you to be able to do that. So putting the money into your bank account, linking your bank account to your payroll system, and having your payroll system pay it out will be a way of documenting, like Anthony said, documenting that income so that you'll be able to be eligible for some of this government assistance. And I don't think this assistance like this is going to come again anytime soon. So I'm encouraging you to take advantage of it, get your documents in place, go to our website. You can even apply for the PPP here on the marketplace. And what is that link again, Anthony?
Yeah. You just go to www.applyppp.info. www.applyppp.info. apply PPP, 3Ps, .info. And so we're going to upload today, we're going to upload what you saw in terms of on television, the PowerPoint presentation from the folks, the good folks at the SBA. There will be a link where you'll be able to view the PDF document, and you'll be able to kind of just go through it and review the document. And like you said, our technology, we as a lender partner, we're one of the largest PPP lenders in terms of at least the first round, fourth PPP lender in the country. And so we want to continue doing that. And we believe we have a process that is very intuitive. It works with you. It just take your time and go through the process, but you got to start the process, right? You got to submit your application.
One step at a time.
Exactly. We recommend that you do so at your earliest convenience, and you can do that right now. Obviously, this SBA doesn't show preference because they're working with all lenders. And so therefore, the idea was for them to really just present to you that's the slew of information. But we as a lender partner can help you secure your PPP loan. Again, go to www.applyppp.info, www.applyppp.info. All right. So, Terry, anything else before we have 3 minutes before we close out here?
That's it. I just want everyone that's tuning in. Hopefully you were able to get a lot of great, valuable information that you can use to apply for the services that are available, the funds that are available. Understand that the restaurant funding is coming in, and the live venue funding starts tomorrow, Thursday. So go to sba.gov if you are a live venue, and you can have access to that information. And I encourage you, get your documents in order. Like we said, make sure you have your business bank account and all of the things that you need, so it'll be an easier process for you. Liz talked about it being a process. So you got to cross your T's and dot your I's. And like Anthony said, it's going to take one step at a time. So on the marketplace and reset, we're here to give you the nuggets, to encourage you, to ask you to get into the marketplace. You can apply for your PPP here, as well as ask questions. And so we encourage you to join us again next week. And, let us give you more information to help propel your business and move you forward.
And Terry, just like you said, nugget, here's a nugget.
Yes.
Which you're not gonna get. It's not common. We as a lender partner, what we're doing is not only providing the funds that you need, but we're going to also give you the ability to do business virtually and remotely. Okay, we have the technology to enable you to be able to do business with whomever you want, anytime, anywhere, 24/7. And so you'll be able to sign up for free. You'll be able to sign up with the marketplace, and we will help you digitize your business. And when we say digitize, it means that you literally, if someone can't come to you in person, you'll be able to do business with that person, sell your product anywhere, anytime, with anyone. We give you the tool, we give you the resources, the technology to do that, and we're allowing you to register for free to be able to, as one of the lenders in the program. We're going to provide that ability to do that as well.
Yep.
Okay. Awesome. All right. So sounds good, Terry. Great job as usual. And folks, until next week, this has been the Marketplace and Jumpstart Reset Show here on WSDX on Tempo and across Colorado Network, as well as brought to you by SETI and also across social media. We'll talk soon.
Enjoy the rest of your day.